Hello, I'm here with Shalini Ma'am here in Kulu, Himachal Pradesh. Shalini Ma'am is a Secretary of National Association for Blind Himachal, and she's also an entrepreneur doing rural agro tourism. Hello, Shalini Ma'am.
Hi.
Thank you so much for your time. I understand how busy you are with everything going on, but I appreciate taking out the time for me to ask you these few questions.
Thank you.
So the first, just for people to understand better what you do as a Secretary of National Association for Blind Himachal, could you just emphasize and explain a little for us to understand what it is?
Yeah. National Association for Blind is working for the welfare of visually impaired in the state of Himachal Pradesh, and we have been doing it since the year 1997. And in all these years, education, rehabilitation, vocational training has been our component of where we have reached out to visually impaired of the state, and we have tried to incorporate the latest technologies, the latest systems which are happening all across in the world actually. And lately we can say that as secretary of the organization, my role is varied. I have to be the leader, I have to make sure I fulfill all the compliances, but at the same time take our organization and their children in the way forward for today's world. So last year we started a program and project of complete digital literacy, where the children are now completely working on digital mode. They either have laptops or computers, or they have Android devices with keyboards, with the help of course a lot of CSR organizations, a lot of other organizations, and our training partners, Benedict, which is part of our training component of teachers as well as students. So in this, what we have been able to do is that with this accessible formats and things like that, our children have been able to take their exams last year on their own computers themselves for the HP Education Board. So that is one major thing which we have done. Of course, we're taking care of the children because the children are staying with us, and there are other programs which we are doing and looking at, so that the employability of the children becomes more and more. Out of the passed out students of the organization till date, we've had about 37 children who have already passed out from here and are now in government jobs, and about out of the 200, some of them have even got married. So that is a joy to us, definitely a joy to us. So these are few we can say that things which we have been able to make a difference in the world. I think it's become dark.
Thank you for sharing that. It seems like the organization does more than just helping them study. It also helps them to get a job, and like you said, even to get married and have a future. So I feel like it's a very nice thing that the organization does, because mostly the schools in Fiji that do things like this for blind students is just for study, just school. They don't do anything more apart from education. So this is very interesting to hear from you, that you guys also invest in them getting jobs and having families and things like that. And just to help us understand more on the entrepreneurship side of things, could you also explain a little about what rural agritourism is?
As an entrepreneur, that's something that I do for my earning. What we are trying to do is we're trying to showcase Himachal in its true grandeur. I'm running a bread and breakfast in which the property that consists of is a heritage villa surrounded by all natural farms. We have an apple orchard. We are doing some farming. So it is an experience where people from all over the world can come and experience a rural, still comfortable and a luxurious life in an apple plantation, where they will get to know our way of life, our rural way of life in the farmland, plus a little experience of the hospitality of Himachal and in the Pahadi style. So Pahadi is called, hills are called Pahad in Hindi. So that is why it's a home away from home for all the people who come and want to explore us.
Thank you. Actually, I've been to her property, and it's a very authentic feeling that you get while being there. And she even took us around for a tour inside the property, the building itself. It's very traditional and culture based, and it's definitely a place that someone should visit if they're trying to connect to the traditional and cultural side of Himachal. Alright, so moving on to the questions that I wanted to ask you originally is the NGO side and also the entrepreneurship side. Why or how or what made you start doing both of these things in your life?
Both of these things, I'll definitely contribute the NGO bit to my aunt who inspired me. She started this organization and she had been involving me since I was a child with her work. So after she was unwell, I started taking over, and it seemed like a challenging thing and a good thing. It was challenging, of course, and it was something different, something nice. So I joined the organization, and there my journey began with the organization, and so henceforth 20-25 years now working for the organization.
Yes.
And as far as the entrepreneurship is concerned, the organizational work is voluntary, so I definitely needed money. So I was able to think of a venture where I could have my rural life as well as give people an experience of Pahad, Himachal in a luxurious way. Why? Because you can come and book into yourself into a hotel and live just exactly you're living wherever in any other part of the world, and come and visit just the tourist spots and go back. But that is not an experience. An experience is something more. Experience is our way of life. So of course that is what we try to do with my property.
Thank you for sharing that. I think I mentioned to you as well that I also want to have an NGO in the future. So it's good to know that apart from the NGO, I should have something that should take care of my financial side of things. So that's something that people that want to run an NGO or something, remember this, funding is a key and important aspect of running an NGO. The second question that I wanted to ask is, throughout your life and throughout your career, or even and if it's a little personal, then you don't have to answer, like even in your family situation, what are some of the biggest lessons or biggest lessons that you've learned or regrets that you have?
I will just talk about lessons that I have learned. They're very, very small, but very, very significant. One thing is that anything and everything that one desires, one wishes, it is in our ability and in our own mind power that we can achieve it. We have to have the patience, the perseverance, and the consistency to continue in our efforts and endeavors. And patience is the key, because we may want to rush things, but they will take their time. And that is very, very important, especially in the NGO sector or any other sector, that whenever we are making our efforts have to be sincere. They will turn into reality. So I will say that that is the lesson I learned, to be very, very accepting to every small transformation that comes along the way, and being open to every new small change that happens, being receptive and trying to adapt to the changing situations.
Thank you for that answer. While you were saying that, I actually thought of something, because you mentioned the power of the mind and being sincere. So I wanted to ask an additional question. Do you believe in the power of manifestation, Shalini Ma'am?
I definitely believe in the power of prayers, and every manifestation in the form of a prayer which we send out into the universe is fulfilled.
Thank you. The next question that I wanted to ask is, what is that one thing that you value above everything else in life?
Here, I will just say that it is the blessings which have come my way from all my guides, my mentors, my family, my elders, my associates, who have helped me in whatever I have endeavored or whatever I have wished to do, and have been part of my journey in whichever possible way they can be. So I have to be grateful to them, and I think that is one thing which I feel is the most important thing in my life.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's I appreciate you saying that, because I feel like lately that's something that I've realized as well, the importance of being grateful for everything that you have. And once you have that feeling of gratitude, you start to see your surroundings, the world, and the environment a little differently. Okay, so moving on, for someone, especially a female or a mother who is married and have kids, who's coming up and wants to do something similar as you, run an NGO or become an entrepreneur, what is one advice that you would give them?
One very important advice is please choose your partner very carefully, because amidst all of these things, balance is the key, and balance cannot only be done individually by you. It is always with all the associated people who are part of your journey. That balance has to be struck even by them. So you definitely need a balanced set of people around you to be able to maneuver through all your responsibilities responsibly.
Thank you for sharing that. I'm still single, so I guess that's one advice that I would take as well. And the last question that I have for you is that, as an entrepreneur and as a secretary for this society that you run in the NGO sector, if you had to start all over again in both areas, would you do it, and why would you do it?
Yeah, making a difference was always my inspiration of life, and I would do both the things if I have to do it. If I have to do it again. Why? Because the joy it brings in doing it for others is equivalently significant for me to the factor associated what I do for myself. So I think if I would have just done one of those things, I wouldn't be satisfied in the other aspect of my life, which was part of my life. And this, I will say, has come to me from my educational institution where we had nuns. So they definitely engraved a sense of duty towards doing for others along with doing it for ourselves. So I think both the things which were part of my personality have to be fulfilled, because even if one was lost, I wouldn't be a satisfied person.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Shalini Ma'am. I'm pretty sure we got a lot out of this, and it was a pleasure meeting and talking with you, and I appreciate you taking out your time. I'll be adding her Instagram page for the for the property that she has on Instagram, so that you guys can visit and see and check it out for yourself. And if you're ever visiting Himachal in India, in Kullu, you can visit our property and get that feel of the authenticity and culture and tradition of the local people. Thank you so much, Shalini Ma'am.
Thank you, Gatu.